just like any other day. Got in a little after 6, walked from the bus stop on Vesey Street, said hello to the guards. And one of those things, you didn't know anybody's name, but you knew them by face. And you always said good morning, and they'd say good morning back. You'd ride the elevator up from the ground to 44, transfer from 44 to 72, walk off to the 72nd floor, and first thing I would do was go to the pantry and start a pot of coffee. And then I would walk around the floor, start checking equipment. By the time I made my lap, coffee would be ready. Grab a cup of coffee, go back to my office, and start my day. I had been on the phone with a friend of mine, and it's funny, I just remember the conversation we were having. We both coached youth sports, and our sons played on the same team. I was the head coach, he was the assistant coach, and we were talking about the game. And he said to me, "Bob, I'll call you right back." I said, "Okay, fine." I went up, I had to go make copies. And then while I was making copies, there was this boom and a vibration. And all I said to myself was, not again, because it felt the same way it did in '93. I had enough time. I went back to my office. I called my mother. She worked at an office in Queens. And I got her voicemail. So I told her, left the message, I said, "Mom, something's happened at the Trade Center, but don't worry. It's the North Tower. It's not my tower." After I called my mom, I called my wife. She's at her office, and I asked her, "Are you watching this?" She's watching what? And I mean, in '93, not every office had televisions. And I'm explaining to her what's going on, and while I'm on the phone with her, there's a sudden swoosh, bang, boom. 3 sounds and a violent ride, thrown forward and back numerous times. Like I said, I was in an office at first watching from the north. The office that I had was in the southeast corner, and the plane came in on the southeast corner. I was on the 72nd floor, and the lowest point, I believe, of the plane is 78. So it missed me by 6 flights. And after the floor stopped shaking, I picked up the phone. My wife had heard the explosion. She was screaming, "What was that?" I told her I didn't know. Something exploded. She told me, "Get the hell out of there." And my last words to my wife would have been, "All right, I'll call you later." As we're walking out onto the floor to head to the stairs, I realize our receptionist had left a sweater behind. So now I've got a flashlight, I've got water. How am I going to cover my face? I took my handy-dandy Swiss Army knife out, and I cut the 2 sleeves off, and we made turtlenecks. Kind of looked like Bazooka Joe from the comics. Pulled them over our faces, just enough. All set to tackle the floor, tackle the stairs. Down the stairs we went. We met some people along the way. Some people wanted our help. Some people didn't. Some people I sent help to. So there are people in there that I kind of feel bad about. And I knew they didn't leave, and I knew that I had helped send help to them, and I know that the help didn't survive. One of the things I did, even on 9/11, I used a ploy when we met the 2 women that needed help. The pregnant woman always wanted to stop. I mean, she'd do a floor and stop. I'd give her water. I took part of the receptionist sweater, I'd soak it, and I'd give her a little sponge bath on her head just to get her going. But geez, as soon as we get 1 floor down, I want to stop again. And something from coaching. And when the boys do their push-ups, I'd always tell them, "Give me 1 more. If you can do 10, try to give me 11. You can do this." And she'd give me 1 floor, and she'd want to stop. And I'd say, "Give me 1 more floor, then we'll stop." I'm not going to stop every time you want to stop. We'll never get out of here. I do carry a piece of the receptionist's sweater every day. It's in my wallet. Marilyn was her name. I even told her that I apologized. I said, "Do you remember that sweater you left on the desk?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, I cut it up and I used it. I used a Swiss Army knife that day.